This is News 4 San Antonio Today, the only local news station with nonstop news.
It is what we do. Good morning, Nonstop News starts right now. We are the only TV station in town commercial free until the top of the hour.
We have you covered this morning. You just heard from Jeanette, and she'll give us a deeper look at weather in just a few moments.
Been a day, been a morning already, Joy, with the roads. What do they look like right now?
Well, unfortunately, we are not looking any better along I-35. In fact, that delay has now pushed to over an hour in the southbound lanes because of the partial closures that are going on right now between Olympia Parkway and Loop 1604. That is our biggest slowdown, but there are a few other issues we're looking at as well. So downtown, of course, the construction closure on the upper level of I-35, northbound from I-10 to Brooklyn Avenue, starting to see some congestion building behind that. On the northbound lanes of 281, we had an accident that has since cleared, but this is northbound at Josephine Street, and it has left behind some crowding and some congestion that has yet to thin out. So as you're driving through there, you may not see any flashing lights, but you'll feel that slowdown. Over on the west side, you'll notice that line of congestion coming into San Antonio in the eastbound lanes of Highway 90. We've seen a couple of disabled vehicles out there contributing to that slowdown. Photojournalist David Mendoza is live in Sky 4. He joins us now. Good morning, David.
At the morning 35 corridor just past 1604. No surprise it's getting busy up there, down to one lane in the southbound lanes at 35. Right now though, we are downtown tracking 35 and 90, starting to get a little busy because of this merge lane over here. No accidents at the moment. That accident on 281 and 35 has since cleared. I'll keep you updated and let you know what else I see. Back to you.
David, thank you. That's the latest for now. We'll have another update with your on-time traffic.
Guys, thank you. New details this morning. A rideshare driver in the hospital after being shot by his passenger. So this is what we know so far. It happened about 9 o'clock last night along West Laurel near North Elmendorf Street. Police say the victim dropped the suspect off, expected payment. Suspect refused to pay and then allegedly fired shots into the driver's seat. The driver shot in the back of the shoulder. We are told he is expected to be okay, but no arrests have been made yet.
New this morning, police need your help solving a murder that happened back in 2024. Police say 24-year-old Jordan Burleson, who you see right here on your screen, was shot and killed while trying to leave a party at an Airbnb. Shooting happened back on August 7th, 2024 on Hawthorn Woods near Zavala Road. Police say someone inside a silver Dodge Charger shot him with a rifle. A person in a white Dodge Charger may have also been involved in that shooting. If you have any information, please call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-7867. You could get a reward of up to $5,000 for information that leads to an arrest. Across Texas, an employee at NRG Stadium in Houston is facing charges after allegedly sexually assaulting an 8-year-old boy during a Texans game. The boy told his parents that while washing his hands, the employee told him to go into a stall, and he did because he trusted the worker. The employee has been identified as 21-year-old Ushay Nixon. Nixon has prior records of indecency with a child. The boy's parents have filed a lawsuit against Nixon. The food and beverage company that hired him, as well as the stadium's managing company, they say the company was negligent in hiring Nixon because of his previous charges.
In the Allen at the Live Desk, a federal grand jury has indicted the man accused of vandalizing the Ohio home of Vice President J.D. Vance. Prosecutors say 26-year-old William DeFore of Cincinnati faces 3 federal charges, including damaging government property, violence to a restricted area, and assaulting or interfering with federal officers. Now, if convicted, DeFore could face decades in prison. His attorney declined to comment on that indictment, but as previously said, in the case involves mental health issues and was not politically motivated. Now, state-level charges tied to the case were recently just dropped. That's the latest from the Live Desk.
Emma, thank you. A huge loss for San Antonio Council on alcohol and drug awareness programs. More than $5 million was cut. Now they're having to cut staff and go without for the next several years for those who need help. News 4 San Antonio's Christina De Leon joins us live with what this means for their programs. Good morning, Christina.
Yeah, good morning, Marissa. Good morning, everyone. You know, this was all part of a $100 million cut across all of Bexar County, and Secada's portion was around $5 million. So the San Antonio Council on Alcohol and Drug Awareness says that included 4 of its multi-year grants that they were right in the middle of, which have now been canceled. And as a result, nearly 25,000 clients are no longer going to be getting services. Right now, Secada is in the process of notifying all of those affected, including case management and counseling to adolescents, just to name a few. This includes things like mental health programs for kids and adults. And the challenging part is going to be finding them alternative care. Since the funding was cut across the county, there are very few referral options.
Mental health related conditions and substance use disorders are funded at very little already. And then to have this $100 million pulled from our Bexar County community, plus the increase of insurance premiums, it's going to be a huge ripple effect that impacts families, parents, employers, law enforcement, and just the general public in all.
You know, she also adds, as a result, they're going to have to let staff go in the near future. So obviously a very tough loss for Secada here in San Antonio. Reporting live in the Content Center, I'm Christina De Leon. Marissa, we'll send it back to you.
Christina, thank you. San Antonio water bills may see their first increase since 2020 if proposed SAWS plan is accepted. The proposal laid out Tuesday to SAWS trustees would increase water bills by almost 8% for 2026. Then between 6.5% to 7% increase each year through 2029. This plan would need to be approved by the board and city council. If that happens, customers could see rates increase beginning in either April or May. SAWS says these adjustments are needed to fund necessary capital improvements projects.
Well, airlines could save big money on fuel as new weight loss pills gain popularity. And defaulted student loan borrowers are now risking tax returns.
Jane King is live at the New York Stock Exchange with those stories and more. Good morning, Jane.
Hi, David and Marissa. Good morning. Yes, Americans who are behind on the federal student loan payments could miss out on their tax refunds. The Department of Education can seize borrowers' entire tax refunds, including child tax credit and earned income tax credit, if they're in default on the federal student loan. So borrowers worried about this can go to studentaid.gov, see if they're far behind and if the account is in default. Well, new data from Realtor.com suggests the housing market may never return to where it was before the pandemic. The data show that mortgage rates would need to drop to 2.65%, or incomes jump by 56%, or home prices fall 35% to get back to being affordable, which they define as a housing payment that is no more than 21% of monthly income. And Wall Street finding an unexpected beneficiary of America's weight loss boom, and that's the airlines. Now, with the first GLP-1 weight loss drug now available in pill form, analysts at Jefferies say that broad adoption could lower fuel bills for the airlines. They're currently their second biggest expense behind salaries. Now that would lift earnings for the airlines. And Jefferies says a 10% reduction in average passenger weight could translate into a roughly 2% total aircraft weight savings, and that could boost earnings as much as 4%. Okay, YouTube will now let parents limit the amount of time that their teens spend scrolling through the short video feature, the Shorts, or block them altogether. The option, part of a group of new parental controls that the video platform announced yesterday. YouTube has been ramping up efforts to protect young users in response to growing scrutiny from families and lawmakers. Well, stocks slid for a second straight session. Banks among the day's biggest laggards. Now this morning we are looking higher, especially tech stocks. Live from the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Back to you.
Jane, I don't know whether to be impressed or mortified by that the weight loss airline story. We as a country were that big.
It's fascinating. Well, you know, they have to put more fuel in for weight. And if, you know, everybody's losing 10 to 20%, that just means, I mean, it actually is, it's weird, but it makes sense.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. One of the unintended, I guess, benefits. I mean, you know, benefits. I mean, certainly. The great Jane King, great perspective there. Cool story. Great Jane King live in New York. Jane, have a great day.
Thanks.
About 10 minutes before 7 a.m. right now. Good news for Verizon customers. That outage yesterday that affected so many people apparently has been resolved. So a Verizon spokesperson says that customers are still having issues. Anyway, Verizon says this thing is redone. The outage affected about 170,000 people. Good news, it's all done.
President Trump signed a bipartisan bill Wednesday afternoon allowing schools to serve whole and 2% milk. The House and the Senate passed the Whole Milk for the Healthy Kids Act last year. Schools participating in the National School Lunch Program can now offer students whole milk and 2% milk, in addition to lower fat milks and milk alternatives. In an Oval Office signing ceremony, the president called the bill a win for children's health and a win for farmers.
Now your certified most accurate 4-zone weather with meteorologist Jeanette Calle.
What do we think about that, moms?
So growing up, the only place that I had milk with a meal was at school. Only at school, wow. and that was chocolate milk.
It's a good one.
Because at home it was like OJ, water,
yeah.
Iced tea. But no, I mean, I'm for it.
I told you guys yesterday, my son, who's 16, drinks milk with pizza, tacos, and chocolate milk. And I'm like, I don't know, man. But, vitamin D.
Yeah.
Milk is good. Milk is great. And I like a really cold, cold glass of milk.
Oh, you know what I don't like? Do you put ice in your milk?
No.
Okay, thank you. My mother-in-law does that, and I go, I can't even look at that. Anyway, let's talk about it. Speaking of cold, it is a cold this morning. Colder than yesterday morning. 30s and 40s. 38 right now in San Antonio, 37 in Seguin. Down towards the south and west, it's in the low 40s. We're seeing wind chill temperatures that are even lower. It's not as windy as yesterday, but there is still a noticeable breeze from the north, and it's making it feel this much colder. 33 is the wind chill in San Antonio. It feels like it's 35 in New Braunfels, 25 in Kerrville. Bundle up in Kerrville. Temperatures this afternoon will be warmer. Winds will shift to the south, plus with the sunny skies. And we're going to see highs climbing to the mid and upper 60s. Some spots along the Rio Grande in the low 70s. Across the country right now, tracking the precipitation, well, it's actually pretty dry across much of the country. The exception is the northeast, still seeing some snowfall there. Sunny skies throughout this Thursday. We'll see sunny skies tomorrow. Now tomorrow morning will be just as cold as this morning. In the afternoon, though, we'll get into the low 70s. Warming up before another cold front swings through. This arrives late Friday night. No rain with that, but it is going to get colder behind that front. Saturday's highs will be in the 50s, and then low Saturday night into Sunday morning in the 20s and low 30s. Yes, a widespread freeze expected for the area during that time. Looking ahead at next week, rain chances will be increasing, especially Tuesday and Wednesday, as this storm system likely moves into South Texas. While the center of that storm will be to the south, we have a pretty good chance of seeing rain this far north because around low pressure, winds flow counterclockwise. Let's take a look at the rain chances. So certainly dry through Sunday, very small rain chance late Monday, and then that chance for rain increases next Tuesday and Wednesday. Rain free this morning. Make sure you grab your sunglasses if you're heading out after 7:30. Temperatures in the upper 30s during the 7 a.m. hour, closer to the mid 40s at 9. At 11:56 this afternoon, by 4 p.m. is when we'll get to the forecast high of 66. Tomorrow afternoon, 73, 55 Saturday. After the freezing cold on Sunday, temperatures in the afternoon moderate, low 60s, mid 60s on MLK Day, and then highs in the 50s with the rain Tuesday and Wednesday. For the march on Monday, partly sunny at 10 a.m. Temperatures in the low 50s, and then it gradually warms up through the day. Here's the extended forecast for the other 3 zones. Dry in the hill country with sunshine through Sunday. Temperatures there certainly in the 20s Sunday morning, so a hard freeze for you. Start thinking about getting ready for that. Eastern zone next Wednesday, 60% rain chance.
All right, one more check at the roads here. We are still seeing over an hour delay in the southbound lanes of I-35. In fact, we are now pushing up on almost an hour and a half. Southbound I-35 all because we are down to one lane between Olympia Parkway and Loop 1604. That is our biggest delay. However, there is some congestion downtown as well on the upper level of I-35 northbound between I-10 and Brooklyn Avenue. Now, the rest of San Antonio, for the most part, it's just a lot of usual morning traffic. We have seen a few accidents throughout the morning, though. I want to check in again with photojournalist David Mendoza, who joins us live from Sky 4. Good morning, David.
Hey, good morning. One last look at the downtown area. Here we are looking at the Y-10 east to 35 north. Traffic is building. It is getting busier, but fortunately not tracking any major accidents at the moment. I'll leave you with that, folks. Drive safe and have a fantastic day. Back to you.
David, thank you. That's everything you need to know with your on-time traffic. Have a wonderful day.
In the Allen at the Live Desk, investigators have pinpointed the aircraft part that failed in the deadly UPS cargo plane crash in Louisville, Kentucky in November. We now know years ago Boeing sent a warning to plane owners about this exact part. The NTSB says metal fatigue caused a bearing race to split, sending the left engine over the wing in that fireball we saw just after takeoff. 3 pilots and 11 people on the ground were killed. Investigators say Boeing warned plane owners about the part years ago, but determined it did not pose a safety of flight risk and called for periodic visual inspections. Now, we expect more, of course, to come from this story. That's the latest from the Live Desk.
All right, Emma, thank you. Before we go, the 2026 North American Car, Truck, and Utility Vehicles of the Year have been announced. The Dodge Charger takes the title for Car of the Year for this year. Truck of the Year goes to Ford for the 6th straight year. This time goes to the Ford Maverick Lobo. That's, I believe, one of those little trucks. And the utility vehicle was claimed by Hyundai's Palisade. The cars are judged on several factors, including design, innovation, safety, and value.
I had a rental car that was a Charger.
Like a Dodge? Like a
Dodge Charger.
Oh.
And it was like I was like laying down, and I can't drive like that.
That thing's got some power.
It does. I don't know how I got it. Anyway, thanks for joining us.